Good evening. Welcome to the forecast discussion for May 13th, 2014. It is currently 6:46 p.m. and we have a backdoor cold front that has blown through the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan areas. You definitely feel it in New York City, where temperatures have fallen into the upper 50s to lower 60s. Look at the influence from the Atlantic. This is really exciting and, well, exciting for a meteorologist or earth scientist to observe here. Right along the coast, you have temperatures basically in the mid to upper 50s, a few lower 60s here around New York City, around Islip. Mid 60s to upper 60s over portions of Connecticut. Then you finally get into the lower to mid 70s over eastern Pennsylvania and basically right along the Delaware River. And you can see as a result, you have that nice easterly to southeasterly wind in effect. Then once you get into central Pennsylvania, that's where temperatures rapidly jump from the mid 70s into the mid to upper 80s over central and western Pennsylvania. And that extends all the way down into Maryland and Virginia, where Virginia is at 91 degrees. There's portions of Virginia in the upper 90s. And then that's where we have our showers and thunderstorms. Positives and negatives to the situation here. The positive, it's absolutely beautiful outside. So if you're going to the Mets-Yankee game, or you're probably already there at this point, well, no worry about rainfall at all. The longer this backdoor cold front is basically locked into this position, the better the weather. It's going to be absolutely beautiful because now you're well within this marine air mass. There's really no lifting involved as high pressure is building south. So as a result, you end up with tranquil weather conditions, an easterly wind or a southeasterly wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And overall, nice weather conditions. The temperatures falling into the lower to mid 50s for lows tonight throughout the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Now, this backdoor cold front will start to retrograde back towards the coast, leading to the threat for a few isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon, especially over eastern Pennsylvania. But overall, it's not going to be that bad of a forecast period, at least until Friday, when that strong cold front over the plains moves through and produces very heavy rainfall throughout the region. On the latest radar, you can see high and dry over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. All our showers and thunderstorms are locked in over portions of Virginia and also over the Ohio River Valley. That is where they'll stay. They will not reach the region at all for tonight. So if you have any outdoor plans for tonight, go out and enjoy them. It's going to be absolutely beautiful out there. On the infrared satellite picture, you basically see the way that this whole pattern is set up. Here's our backdoor cold front. Here's our Canadian high pressure system over the Gulf of Maine. This is a perfect setup for what happens when you have a negative NAO pattern. You have this high pressure system locked in. It builds that polar marine type air mass, Canadian air mass, right down the east coast into the Philadelphia metropolitan area, and you get this little concave of cooler air that takes hold. Meanwhile, you have that tropical air rushing up the coast, bringing temperatures in the 80s and 90s from the Ohio River Valley to the East Coast, including Washington, D.C. and southeastern Pennsylvania. Get used to this pattern. We're going to see this quite a bit this spring and even in the summer. Now, this cold front right here is going to mean business for us. This area low pressure is going to ride up along this cold front boundary, producing very heavy rainfall as it shoots up the East Coast, producing very heavy rainfall and tapping into that tropical air mass. Taking a look at the water vapor satellite picture, now we have the subtropical jet stream tapping into this whole pattern. We have a nice deep trough developing over the plains. That eventually is going to shift towards the East Coast, while this upper level trough locks in this high pressure system, and you end up with a very dynamic and very impressive rainfall event setting up for late Thursday night through Friday into early Saturday morning, where rainfall amounts will range anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Coastal flooding will be a threat. Urban flooding will be a threat. Flash flooding will be a threat. And very poor visibility can be expected with major ponding on the roadway and visibilities below a mile. As far as coastal flooding, no threat. I want to make that very clear. It's not that type of storm. Alright, so let's take a look at the latest model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website. Again, for tonight, temperatures fall into the lower to mid 50s for lows. Scattered cloud cover can be expected. For tomorrow, can't rule out an isolated shower or two, but otherwise, dry conditions can be expected with temperatures rebounding into the upper 60s to lower 70s over the Philadelphia metropolitan area, mid to upper 60s over the New York City metropolitan area. On Thursday, well, again, same scenario. That backdoor cold front is putting up a heck of a fight. You end up with a few isolated showers, but otherwise scattered cloud cover. Now, that backdoor cold front, although putting up a fight, will start to give way. So temperatures in the Philadelphia metro will range from the upper 70s to lower 80s. In the New York City metro, lower 70s to mid 70s. Over eastern Connecticut and eastern Long Island, mid to upper 60s. Then on Friday, here comes our storm. Now, basically what we have here setting up for Friday night, should I say Thursday night into Friday through the day on Friday, is an interaction of three air masses. The air mass from the marine air mass that's over the place right now, over the region right now. You have your tropical air mass that's trying to invade from the southwest. And then you have your polar air mass that's invading from the Great Lakes. The combination of these three will produce basically a wall of very heavy rainfall with embedded thunderstorms. I don't expect any severe thunderstorms in this rainfall, but the rainfall will be very impressive, very heavy, and will produce localized flash flooding and urban flooding on Friday. Not a pretty day at all on Friday. Temperatures will range from the lower to mid 60s for lows and lower to mid 70s for highs throughout the entire Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. The good news is that this weekend's looking absolutely beautiful. High pressure will take control by Saturday morning and remain in control all the way through Tuesday. Now, one little caveat here. We're going to have an upper level low setting up right over the region. So most locations will remain dry with variable to scattered cloud cover. I can't rule out an isolated shower with this type of setup. Most locations will remain dry because the atmosphere is relatively dry for the most part. But I can't rule out one of these little disturbances here rotating around this upper level low, topping off an isolated shower or two in the afternoon and evening. Otherwise, we return to below normal temperatures for this upcoming weekend and into early next week. For Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-50s for lows, lower to mid-70s for highs, upper 60s to lower 70s right along the coast. On Monday and Tuesday, temperatures range from the upper 40s to lower 50s for lows and mid to upper 60s for highs. That is your forecast discussion for tonight. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Thank you for following NYNJPA Weather, and you can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and NYNJPA Weather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.